Hi, this is Munson with Munson Music, and we're going to talk about how you can play a song called White Hot by Red Ryder. And we're going to start off kind of blocking in some of those chords for that piano improv at the very beginning. We're starting on an A minor chord, and when you play A minor, first finger goes to the B string on the first fret, second finger on the D string on the second fret, and third finger on the G string on the second fret. And if you strum all those together, that sounds an A minor chord, and it sounds really, really sad. And then from the A minor, we're kind of hanging out on the A minor, and then we go to an F major chord and kind of do some crazy stuff around the F major. And if you know the bar F major, you do your first finger across the entire first fret, second finger on the G string, second fret, third finger on the A string on the third fret, and the pinky on the D string on the third fret. And if you strum all those together, that sounds an F major chord, and it sounds really, really happy. And a good substitute for that is something called F major 7. We can play F major 7. First finger goes to the B string on the first fret, second finger on the G string, second fret, and third finger on the D string on the third fret. And if you strum the D string to the high E string, that sounds an F major 7, and it sounds really, really happy. And then from the F major, we're kind of hanging out there, and then we go to a D minor chord. We play D minor. First finger goes to the high E on the first fret, second finger goes to the G string on the second fret, and third or the fourth finger goes to the B string on the third fret. And if you strum the D string to the high E string, that sounds a D minor chord, and it sounds really, really sad. And then from the D minor, we go back to our F major chord, and then we go to a G major chord. When we play G major, first finger goes to the A on the second fret, second finger goes to the low E string on the third fret, and third finger goes to the high E string on the third fret. And if you strum all those together, that sounds a G major chord, and it sounds really, really happy. And then from the G major, we're going to be going to an A minor chord again at the very, very end. And you kind of hear this lick that kind of turns up later on, kind of come in where you play second on the G string, open E, third on the B, first fret on the B, second on the G, and then open B, and then open G. It's kind of 2, 0, 3, 1, 2, 0, 0, 2, 0, 3, 1, 2, 0, 0. You kind of hear that lick kind of around the A minor. Now through that part, there's some really cool melody parts too, and if you wanted to, you could even kind of break up the chords, or even add in some of those notes from that lick that kind of turns up later. So if you wanted to kind of fill that in some way, that might be kind of a cool way to kind of make up a little part, kind of simulating kind of that piano intro. And then from that piano intro, then we got to go into our main hits. And we start on a G major chord. You may want to kind of do kind of a big down, and then kind of kill the strings with the right hand when we get to that part. Or you might want to use something called a G5 power chord, where you do the first finger on the low E string on the third fret, third finger on the A string on the fifth fret, and if you strum the E and the A string together, it sounds a really powerful G5 power chord. So you might want to kind of think about that for that part too. And then from there, then we go to an E minor chord. And when you play E minor, first finger goes to the A string on the second fret, second finger on the D string on the second fret, and if you strum all those together, that sounds an E minor chord, and it sounds really, really sad. Now you might also want to think about just using just the E and the A string together, and that sounds an E5 power chord. And then from the E, we're going to be going to an F, and you might want to think about using an F5 power chord, where you do the first finger on the A string first fret, third finger on the A string on the third fret, and if you strum the E and the A together, that sounds an F5 power chord. And then from the F, we go back to G, but then we go back to F, and then back to E, and then we go to an A minor chord, and we kind of do 8 downs on the A minor. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then we go to G for a 4 count. 1, 2, 3, 4. And we end up doing that whole thing 4 times. So through that whole intro part, you've got kind of a G, E minor, F, G, F, E minor, A minor, G, A minor, G, A minor, A, G, A minor, G, and then we kind of go back to our hits again, where we got kind of G, E, F, G, F, E, G, but then we go to an A or an A5 power chord, where you can play the A strings and with the D string on the second fret for an A5 power chord, and then we go to the F, and then we hit our G, kind of before we go into our verse. So through that whole part with the hits, you'd have the G, E, F, G, F, E, A minor, G, A minor, G, A minor, G, A minor, G, G, E, F, G, from there, then we'd be going into our verse part. And our verse starts on a C major chord. When we play C major, first finger goes to the B string on the first fret, second finger goes to the D string on the second fret, and third finger goes to the A string on the third fret. And if you strum the A string to the high E string, that sounds a C major chord. And on that first verse, it's a little weird because you almost kind of feel it as kind of a 3 count, where you could kind of do kind of 3 downs on each chord. Or you might want to gravitate towards kind of a down, down, up on each chord. Down, down, up, down, down, up, down, up, down, down, up, down, up, down, down, up, down, up. So we're kind of taking that strum pattern and mixing up a lot of the chords we just talked about. So you'd have C, F, G, C, G, C, A minor, F, G, and then from there, then we kind of definitely go into kind of a 4 feel. And one of my favorite strum patterns for a 4/4 like this is down, down, up, down, up. So to the C and just tried that a lot. You'd have down, down, up, down, up, down, down, up, down, up, down, down, up, down, up. So that second time through the verse, the weird part is a lot of those chords half, so you may want to just do a down, down, up on those chords. So you have C, down, up, F, down, up, C, down, up, F, down, up, G, down, up, C, down, up, G, down, up, C, down, up, A minor, down, up, down, up, F, down, up, down, up, G, down, up, down, up, G, down, up, down, up. And then from there, we'll be going into our chorus part, and our chorus kind of halves a lot of the chords too. So we'd have C, down, up, G, down, up, A minor, down, up, F, down, up, C, down, up, G, down, up, A minor, down, up, F, down, up, C, down, up, G, down, up, A minor, down, up, F, down, up, G, down, up, down, up, G, down, up, down, up. Or if you're kind of digging on those down feel, you could kind of work that as kind of a 4 down on each one. C, 2, 3, 4, G, A minor, F, C, and I'm kind of adding some muting to that too. So you may want to kind of experiment with kind of down strokes too. Because that might be kind of a cool way to kind of work it too. G, G. And then from there, we'll be going into our next verse. Now something else I think about adding to the song though is the bass notes. And a lot of times on that first down of the down, down, up, down, you can throw in a bass note for the chord. So on the C, you'd have the A for the bass. On the F bar, you'd have the low E for the bass. On the F major 7, you'd have the D for the bass. On the G, you'd have the low E for the bass. And on the A minor, you'd have the A string for the bass. So we kind of tried that next verse with basses. We'd have C with an A bass, F with the bass, C with an A bass, F with the bass, G with low E bass, C with an A bass, G with low E bass, C with an A bass, A minor with an A bass, F with the bass. First bridge, we kind of start out on the A minor, but then we kind of have an A minor and a quick change to G, and then we go to F, and then we kind of have another F. So we tried that with our strum pattern. The weird part is that A minor and G, you may want to do kind of down, down, up, and then hit the G with your down up part. So you have A minor, down, up, down, up, A minor, down, up, G, down, up, F. Into our next chorus. So we can't be back to kind of our C, G, A minor, F, C, G, A minor, F, C, G, A minor, F, C, G, A minor, F. But then we gotta read G. So we kind of mix up there. Set us up for kind of our second bridge part, where we start out with kind of an A minor and you kind of kill the strings, and then we come back in on our G chord, and then we go back to kind of our A minor hit, and you might want to fill some time there, and then we're back to G, and then we're kind of back into our bridge progression. So back to that A minor, that kind of goes back and forth between the A minor and G. So we could kind of work that as just kind of an A minor, G with little bass, A minor, or you can kind of mix that up with kind of those downs too. From there, then we go into our outro part, and our outro starts on the A minor, but then we do an A minor to an F halving, kind of a down, down, up, and then saving the F for the last down, up, and then we go to a G with our down, down, up, and then we go back to the F for a down, up, and then we're back to the G with the whole strum. So it's a little weird there if you wanted to kind of get in that F and the G hits. So you have A minor, down, up, down, up, A minor, down, up, F, G, that's the basics of how you get strummed through White Hot by Red Rider. So good luck!